The year was 1999. You're in the second grade. As you ride the school bus home, your best friend pulls out his Game Boy Pocket and sticks in a bright red or blue cartridge. Mesmerized, you watch the whole way home and ask your parents for a game that would become a worldwide phenomenon spanning over 15 years and 6 generations. That game? Pokemon Red and Blue version. What's up YouTube, Torf.0 here, bringing you part 1 of my brand new LP, Let's Play Pokemon Blue Kaizo. Now I've been working real hard to bring this to you guys, so I hope you enjoy, and without further ado, we'll go ahead and we'll start a new game. Now, for those of you that aren't in the know, Kaizo is just another term for hard mode and ROM hack, so if you haven't seen Mario Kaizo or Mario 64 Kaizo, look those up and you'll kind of get an idea of what we're talking about here. And in the context of Pokemon, what you'll be seeing is changes to routes, changes to Pokemon encounters and trainer lineups to make an overall more interesting but more challenging game. And I really enjoy it, and I think you guys will too. So if you want to go ahead and play along, you can download it, just look it up on Google, and I'm sure you'll be able to find the patch to this. So starting off, we're going to go ahead and give our character a name. We'll go ahead and call ourselves Blue, because we are playing Pokemon Blue Kaizo. For those of you that get real anal about that kind of stuff in terms of names, yes, I know his name is Red, but we're playing Pokemon Blue, so we're going to call ourselves Blue. And our rival, Eat Your Heart Out, we're going to name him Red. So now Oak will babble on about how our journey is about to unfold. So in a few seconds we'll go ahead and we'll start our brand new adventure. So, without further ado, let's go! And to start off, as you should in any Gen 3 and above Pokemon game, go ahead and withdraw an item out of your PC. Kind of a tradition in Pokemon games. It was that way in Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, I believe, as well. Although I don't believe so in Gold and Silver, but it's been so long I can't really remember. And we're not going to waste our time talking to Mom, because as far as I can tell, in my practice run, none of the NPC dialogue has changed. Just kind of some features in the routes, geography, and mostly Pokemon encounters. So Oak is going to come out of here like he always does. Tell us that we need our own Pokemon for protection because we can't face off against the tiny birds and small rats. We need a Pokemon to do it for us. So, whatever. And as he takes us into our lab, him and Red will banter back and forth about how he's fed up with waiting and how we're going to get our own Pokemon. So, Oak's just going on telling about how he forgot to tell him to wait here. I don't know what's up with Oak's memory. He can't remember anyone's genders, names, and even his own grandson. But he goes on bragging about how he's a serious Pokemon trainer, but somehow in his old age he only has 3 left. So, I don't know what happened. Did they die? I don't know. And now he's just like being real pushy and just being like, choose! And of course Red's going to go about complaining as usual. And now starting off with our starters, don't think too hard about this because you can find them all later. But starting off, we'll go ahead and we'll look at this one. And we got Charizard here, or Charmander. Charmander, as I said before, evolves into Charizard, reaching his final form at level 36. Charizard specializes in speed, and he has average attacks overall. In this game, his attack and his special are just about the same. In later generations, his special attack is higher, but this is before the special stat split, so he's going to have just average special. He does make up for it, though, with getting powerful moves like Earthquake, Fire Blast, and the always critical hitting Slash. He also can Toxic Stall and trap Pokemon with Fire Spin, so that's pretty effective there if you want to go with the stall strategy. We'll go ahead and we'll start with Charmander in this run, but let's look at the other 2 starters first. So over here we have Squirtle, which the tiny turtle Pokemon, he evolves into Blastoise at level 36. He's a little on the slow side, but Blastoise has excellent defense. He also gets a boost to his average attacking stats because he has access to powerful moves such as Earthquake, Hydro Pump, and Blizzard. He also can take equally hard hits pretty well as well. Although he's the worst overall choice of the 3 starters, he's still a balanced Pokemon, and he's great overall in the hack. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to pass on Squirtle, and we'll check out our last starter, Bulbasaur. Now, Bulbasaur is arguably the best of the 3 starters in this hack. He reaches his final form, Venusaur, just a little bit earlier at level 32. His specialty is his excellent special. Venusaur has pretty good speed as well. He has access to Razor Leaf, which always critical hits, so he's basically guaranteed a powerful attack no matter what the situation. He also gets a hold of the powerful stall combo of Leech Seed and Toxics. He also has advantages over the first 2 gym leaders, so he's a pretty good choice overall. But we'll go ahead and say no, and we'll take our Charmander. Yes, we'll go ahead and say yes, we want Charmander. And we're not going to give him a nickname for now. Apparently the Pokemon's energetic. I don't know what that means. I'm not really into nicknames. I might take him to the name raider later on and give him a nickname. But for now, I got nothing. So we won't worry about it. And Red's going to go ahead and he's going to claim his Squirtle. Which, fun fact, if you're starting and you start with Squirtle, you won't win this next battle. And you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. So Red's going to challenge us to a battle. He wants to check out our new Pokemon. And we'll go ahead and we'll see that Professor Oak is a liar. That Pokeball didn't have a Squirtle in it at all. It had a Mew. So basically the only way you're going to win this battle with Charmander is you get a lucky burn. So let's go ahead and see if we can get a burn on Mew, and he go ahead and he leads off with Thunder Wave, which isn't good at all. So Ember is going to do about 20% damage or so, and we didn't get the burn, so this is going to be pretty terrible. Let's see how we can do. Critical hit, that's nice. So if we can get another critical, we might be able to 4-hit KO him. But not if we're fully paralyzed. Okay, well let's just go for another Ember. It's more powerful than Scratches right now. And yes, Mew with his good speed is going to be getting a lot of critical hits. And we didn't even get the burn. So hopefully he'll be stupid and go for like Thunder Wave or something. And he goes for Pound again. Well, we can take 3 more maybe. And of course he outspeeds. I forgot about that. And he gets another critical hit. So, come on, give us a burn, give us a burn. Ooh, this is going to be close. Maybe a critical hit and we'll win. Come on, keeping my fingers crossed. Yeah! That's right! Sit down! So, we defeated Mew with our Charmander. Red's a noob. He couldn't take us down. And we get our first victory overall. Yeah, I can't believe it either, buddy. You definitely didn't pick the wrong Pokemon, though. I would take Mew over Charmander any day. Yeah, and that battle with Squirtle is basically impossible. With Venusaur, you can kind of get lucky with Leech Seed and Toxic. You can use that to drain his energy and heal yours back. It just depends on how many criticals he gets, whether you'll win with Bulbasaur. But just like that, we won with Charmander versus the Mew. I'm pretty excited. I didn't think we would do it, but we did. Anyways, now we'll move on to Viridian City. We'll have to go up through Route 1, and we'll notice that the route is a lot more, we'll call it shaggier with the grass. And we'll go ahead and we'll get our free potion from this guy to replenish the one we just lost. So he gives us a free sample. And we can move on. And you can see it's a lot more shaggy. There's grass everywhere. And as we go north, we don't see any wild Pokemon. That's pretty good. Actually, the wild Pokemon in that route have an incredibly low encounter rate. There's other versions of this hack that have really high encounter rates that I've noticed. But in this version, whatever reason, it's really low. And I don't know whether I have the latest version or not, but it's the version I have, and for the most part, they're all the same. The only difference is the encounter rates in some areas. And it does go back to normal later in the game, so don't worry about not being able to encounter Pokemon. So we get Oak's parcel, and we'll go ahead and we'll return back to the lab. So we'll just go ahead and we'll hop over these ledges, and just like that, we're nearly back to Pallet Town. So you guys have seen this all before, probably, if you're playing this hack. I wouldn't assume you would play this hack without playing the original game. But if you haven't seen this, Oak's going to give us the Pokedex. He's going to say that our Pokemon likes us a lot, probably because he just defeated a Mew. I don't blame him. I like me a lot too after that. And we give Oak our parcel. He's so overjoyed, he's going to go ahead and give us some Pokedexes. And on cue, here comes our rival, Buttface. Well, oops, I mean Red. And Oak, forgetting again that he has a request of us, is going to say that he wants us to take his invention, the Pokedex, and make an encyclopedia on all the Pokemon in the world, which I'm not even going to go on about how that works, but it's just a way to set up the plot, I guess. And without even reaching to give us the Pokedexes, he go ahead and brings them off the table and gives us to him. So Oak apparently has psychic powers. And we had a little audio glitch there. Hopefully we don't get too much of those. I'm not really sure what's causing it. So yeah, Oak's too old, and so he wants us to fulfill his dreams for him. And just like that, we can get started on our quest. We can buy Pokeballs at the Pokemart. And we can start adding to our team. And Red's going to go on about telling us how to not have his sister lend us a town map, but a town map's a waste of an item in this game. It takes up a slot in your bag and in your PC, and you can't get rid of it. And, I mean, you can see the layout of the routes in your Pokedex, so I don't know why you would ever want to use a town map. Okay, well, for the Pokemon that we can see on this route, normally it's just Pidgey and Rattata in the regular versions, but now we have a whole plethora of Pokemon that we can see on Route 1. And starting out with Pidgey, Pidgey evolves into Pidgeotto at level 36. He has decent attack and speed. He's not the best bird Pokemon for attacking and speed, and we don't need a hill. I forgot about that. But he does have pretty decent defenses as well, so he can tank just a little bit better than the other ones. So if you're looking for an early bird to start out with, you could go ahead and consider him. And he does get access to moves like Fly and Hyper Beam, and does get Stab on him. So overall, a pretty decent Pokemon for this hack. Maybe a little underpowered. So we'll go ahead and we'll start off by buying 5 Pokeballs. Yes, that'll be okay. And we'll go ahead and we'll hunt for Pokemon to add to our team. Now, along with Pidgeotto, Rattata is the other Pokemon that we can find in the first route normally. And just like in the first real games, we can find Rattata in this grass as well. Now, Rattata is going to evolve into his last form, Raticate, at level 20. Raticate has an okay attack and okay speed. He's going to end up being underpowered pretty well into the end of the game. He does get access to good moves like Dig, Double Edge, and Hyper Beam, as well as getting access to pretty powerful special moves in Blizzard, Thunder, and Bubble Beam as well. So you can kind of go mix with them. I'd recommend teaching him at least one high-powered special move to just round out your coverage if you do decide to go with Raticate. Also available in here, in this grass, that wasn't in the first game, is Sandslash, or Sandshrew. Sandshrew evolves into Sandslash at level 28, I believe. And Sandslash does specialize in attack and defense, having triple digits in both those stats. He is fairly slow, but he can get a paralyzation with body slam. So I definitely recommend teaching him body slam, as well as he has access to the always critical hitting move slash. So he'll always have a powerful attack with slash. With that, he has stab, earthquake, and has access to rock slide as well. So overall, he has good coverage, powerful moves, and you can't really go wrong with Sand Slash. Now, as you just saw, we also have Spearow in this grass. Spearow evolves into Fearow at level 20. Fearow has a little bit higher attack than Pidgeot, and it also has access to Drill Peck, which actually has a little bit higher power than Pidgeot's Fly. Other than that, he's basically identical to Pidgeot. He's a little less bulky, so he can't take hits as well. Between the two of them, I would go ahead and recommend Pidgeot just for the added bulk, as Dodrio, who you can get later in the game, has better attack and speed than Fearow. Now, also in this grass, you can find the two Nidos. That's Nidoran female and Nidoran male. Nidoran male is the more attack-oriented of the two. He evolves into Nidoking with the aid of a Moonstone as early as level 16. Now, Nidoking learns his only move, Thunderbolt, at level 23. So make sure you evolve him before level 23. Also, if you want to catch him as a Nidoking in the wild, you get access to Lovely Kiss and Earthquake, as well as Body Slam. Now, otherwise, Nidoking's not going to be learning other moves via level up, so you will have to give him TMs. Fortunately for you, Nidoking can learn a lot of TMs, and that goes the same for Nidoqueen. He has access to Dig, to the Body Slam TM as well as Surf, Blizzard, and Thunder. So depending on what you need for coverage, I'd recommend going with Earthquake and Rock Slide as two attacking moves, and then maybe with some other special moves as well. Now, Nidoking's counterpart, Nidoqueen, is a little more defense-oriented, but he does have the same special stat as Nidoking. So, with Nidoqueen, you may want to focus more on special moves than you do on physical moves. Now, Nidoqueen has access to Thunderbolt as well at level 23, so make sure you evolve Nidoran with a Moonstone before level 23. In terms of TM, they has access to, like Nidoking, Nidoqueen has access to Earthquake, Rock Slide, Submission on the physical side, as well as Surf, Thunder, and Blizzard on the special side. Although Nidoqueen's a little slow and not very powerful, the amount of high-powered moves Nidoqueen has access to definitely makes her a solid choice if you want to add her to her team. Now, also on the first route, as you may have seen earlier, you also have access to the low-level bugs, which in the normal game, the bugs are going to get overpowered fairly quick, but if you do like them for who they are, you can go ahead and you can make them work in this hack. Now we'll go ahead and we'll start out with Weedle. Weedle can be found in Route 1, evolving fairly early, level 7 into Kakuna and level 10 into Beedrill. Beedrill gets access to Swords Dance, so he can boost his fairly average attack with Swords Dance, as well as his best two attacking options, Twin Needle and Hyper Beam. I would only recommend picking up Beedrill if you're just a fan of the Pokemon in general, because otherwise he's just going to be a liability on his team. But at least he's better than Butterfree, as he can actually boost his low stats. And speaking of Butterfree, you can also find Caterpie on Route 1. Now Caterpie evolves into Metapod at level 7 and then into Butterfree level 10. One thing that does make Butterfree a pretty good addition to your team, as he does get access to Sleep Powder and Supersonic. Otherwise, you'll want to round out his movesets with Hyper Beam and Psychic with TMs, as those are really going to be the only two moves that he'll get with any power at all. Otherwise, you'll just find that he's not going to be doing much damage, and he doesn't have much bulk to deal out damage either. So, I really wouldn't recommend Butterfree, but if you're a fan of Ash and a fan of Butterfree in the anime, you can make him work. And speaking of Ash, you can also find Pikachu on Route 1. So if you do want to go full Ash, with a little bit of searching, and with this low encounter rate, you'll probably want to use your speed up or turbo button. You can get a Pikachu. Now Pikachu will get access to moves like Quick Attack, Double Team, and other speed-based moves that Raichu won't get when you evolve with a Thunderstone. So if you want to learn these moves, go ahead and hold off on evolving Pikachu anyways. But along those same lines, you don't get access to a Thunderstone until Celadon City, which in this hack you're going to be pretty high level, and you'll have most of Pikachu's attacks by then anyways. But Pikachu, he doesn't have access to Light Ball in this game, but as a Raichu, he has very good attack and special, as well as speed. So although he won't have very good defenses, he can dole out pretty good hits, and with that you can go mix with him. I'd recommend giving him Thunder for the extra power, as well as Quick Attack and Body Slam for the great coverage that Normal brings in this game. Now, depending on whether you catch him as a Raichu or a Pikachu, he'll have access to Surf. If you want to catch him as a Raichu, you do get Surf, but you have to wait until you get to the power plant to catch Raichu. And at that point, he's going to be into the high 60s, and you'll already have at least 4 or 5 badges, depending on whether you skip a couple gym leaders to get Surf earlier. If you don't want to get Surf, which I don't think it's worth it in my opinion, you can go with Submission, which has the same coverage on rock types, as well as covering normal types instead of fire types and ground types. And just like that, that's all the Pokemon that you can encounter on this route. I'm actually looking for a Nidoran male to add to my team. I'll go ahead and I'll cut out the search, and I'll be right back when I find one. Okay guys, finally found a Nidoran male. Charmander grew a couple levels. We'll go ahead and see if we can... Oh my gosh. Okay, we did buy Pokeballs. I was afraid that I forgot to buy Pokeballs. I'm going to go ahead and toss a Pokeball because I'm not sure if I can capture Nidoran without actually killing him. So we'll just go ahead and we'll see it shake once, twice, and he broke out. Ah, rats. So he's going to go and hit us with Horn Attack. At this point, it's not going to be that powerful, so we can toss a couple more and hopefully capture him. And alright, just like that, we went ahead and we caught Nidoran male. And as the same thing with Charmander, I don't really have any ideas for nicknames, so we'll go ahead and we'll skip out all the nicknames. So Nidoran, the Poison Pin Pokemon, he stiffens his ears to sense dangers. The larger the horns, the more powerful its secreted venom. So, interesting little quip about Nidoran there. We'll go ahead and skip out on the nickname. And we'll go ahead and we'll go back to the Pokemon Center to heal. And along those lines, that reminds me, I didn't mention a Pokemon that can be found on Route 1. But you can find Ekans. Now, Ekans has only average attack, but it is his best stat. Also, in this hack, unfortunately, he doesn't learn any moves by level up. So, that is kind of a liability. He does, however, have access to powerful moves like Hyper Beam, Earthquake, and Rock Slide. So if you're willing to spend on the TMs, you can make him pretty decent. Overall, I wouldn't recommend Arbok due to his poison typing, making him weak to Psychics and ground types, as well as everything having Earthquake in this attack. But if you like him, you can definitely make it work. And as we move on, we'll go ahead and we'll go to Route 22 to have a brand new set of Pokemon we encounter. And in this route, you can encounter the 3 starters that we've seen before, as well as the 2 Nidos. But in addition to that, you can also encounter... Okay, well, I was hoping that he was going to show up here, but he didn't. You can also encounter Eevee. So those of you that are Eevee fans, you can go ahead and you can get him real early on in the game. Now, Eevee, with his normal type, has pretty decent access to moves like Quick Attack and Body Slam. But the real draw of Eevee is his 3 split evolutions. And starting off, we'll go ahead and we'll start with Vaporeon. Now, Vaporeon is probably the best of the 3. And his specialty is Special and HP, having monstrous HP, 130 base overall, and decent special as well at 110 overall. He also gets access to powerful moves such as Hydro Pump, Blizzard, and Hyper Beam. As for a 4th move, I'd recommend something like Reflect or Double Team, because he doesn't get Acid Armor in this game. So you can use Reflect to still boost his only average defense. It's actually kind of on the low side. The catch being that Reflect only boosts at 2 stage and you can't go any further. Otherwise, you can give him Double Team, and hopefully avoid all your opponent's attacks. Moving on to Eevee's 2nd evolution, you can also go with Jolteon. Now, Jolteon has great speed and great special. Jolteon's catch-22 in this version, unfortunately, is his limited move pool, as he gets access to normal moves and electric moves, but that's about it. He does get access to Thunder Wave, which is a very good move in this game that slows down your opponents, and, occasionally they'll keep them from attacking. Also, he gets access to the powerful Thunder and Hyper Beam. As for the 4th move, you can either keep Quick Attack, or you can go with Body Slam to hopefully paralyze while also dealing damage. Body Slam does run off his lower attack stat, though, so it may be just worth it sticking with Thunder Wave to get paralysis. And moving on to Eevee's last evolution, and you guys might not believe what I'm going to say right now, but that's Flareon. Now, Flareon is excellent. Use him in this game if you like Flareon, because it's the only game where he's useful at all. Flareon has massive attack and special stats in this game, which gives him access to powerful moves like Fire Blast with base 110 special, and moves like Hyper Beam with base 130 attack. He also can stall his opponents with Fire Spin, or he can get priority to make up for his lower speed with Quick Attack. Overall, if you like Flareon, he's definitely an excellent Pokemon in this hack. The only caveat being as he won't be able to do much to rock types or water types, with his only 2 moves being normal type and fire type. But if you like Flareon, go for it, because you won't get a much better chance using him than in this hack. Now, also on this route, you can find Ditto, but Ditto is awful. Don't use Ditto. Ditto's not worth using if he doesn't have Imposter. So, I don't even know why you would use him in this game with no breeding mechanics or anything. So, I'm not going to do a bio about Ditto. Just don't use Ditto. That's my advice. Anyways, with my Charmander and my Nidoran, I am going to go ahead and grind up a little bit on this route, because this is actually a great route to grind up with the starters and Eevee. Eevee's almost an experience jackpot, given like 66 XP per kill, which at this point in the game is pretty high. So I'll meet you later when I'm done grinding. Hey guys, while I was grinding, Charmander grew to level 16, so you guys got a sight to see. You'll go ahead and see my Charmander evolving into Charmeleon. Not going to waste your time though. Go ahead and hit the turbo button. And in case you guys were wondering, he still only has Ember and Scratch. So I hope you like those two moves, because you're going to have them until he learns Slash at level 23. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grind up Nidoran a little bit as well, and I'll meet you back later. Well, look at that. While I was grinding up, Nidoran grew to level 16. And just like Charmander before him, he'll go ahead and he'll be evolving too into Nidorino. So, okay, so while you're at it, raising up your Nidorino or your Nidorina, go ahead and grab this Moonstone up here on Route 2. It looks a little bit different, but we'll talk more about that in the next part. I went ahead and used that Moonstone on Nidorino, and now I have myself a fresh Nidoking level 16 with 40 attack, 34 special, so pretty overpowered stats for this point in the game. Now, normally you don't want to evolve a Pokemon as fast as possible in Pokemon games because you miss out on moves that they can access as under-evolved Pokemon, but in this hack, most Pokemon aren't going to get access to new moves when they're over-leveled, under-evolved Pokemon. So go ahead and evolve them whenever you have the chance. And especially in this case, Nidoran doesn't learn any moves at all. In fact, Nidoking's the only one that learns any moves leveling up, which he'll get Thunderbolt at level 23 later on. So we're at Route 22, and while you're grinding up and capturing Pokemon, make sure you don't jump off this ledge unless you're absolutely 100% ready to take on your rival. And we'll go ahead and we'll lead off Nidoking for this fight. And we'll go ahead and we'll have our rematch with Pokemon Trainer Red. And he's just giving us the 411 on the Pokemon League. He's going to tell us that they won't let us through without any badges. And then he'll ask us if we got stronger. Well, we don't have any cheating moves like he does, but we did get quite a bit stronger. So he'll go ahead and he'll send out an Eevee first. It looks like he picked up an Eevee on this route. And he's got it at level 9, so we may be a little bit over-leveled. But in this hack, you can never be too over-leveled. We'll go ahead and we'll take him out easily with a double kick. He'll nearly OHKO with a single kick, but we'll go ahead and we'll take him down with the second hit. So in all actuality, it was an OHKO anyways. And now he's got his Mew left. We'll go ahead and we'll keep Nidoking in. And we'll go ahead and give him a Horn Attack to the face. And like that, his Mew's only at level 8. And he's going to try stalling us out with Soft Boiled. But he did take that Horn Attack like a champ. Which just goes to show you the difficulty of this hack and the difficulty of this battle in general. So make sure you're prepared before you go down, hopping here, all willy-nilly. And like an idiot, he tries to paralyze us with Thunder Wave when we're part ground type. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to use the Moonstone on Nidorino so quickly. We'll go ahead and we'll follow up with a Horn Attack, and that should be enough to kill. Yep, he goes down, and like that, unbelievable again. Well, maybe not, since we're so over-leveled. But Red, like the true nincompoop he is going to say that we just lucked out, but we know better. Well, that's all the time we have today. Stay tuned next week for another long-winded part as I take on Route 2, Verdian Forest, and Pewter City Gym, as we have a lot of new trainers and new encounters to take on. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button or subscribe to see more episodes of this Let's Play. If you have any suggestions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment box below. And until next time, peace.